All right, welcome to We Chat Football, a channel where we chat football, and today we'll be holding down that Friday vibes. Yes, the one time of the day that we all like. On a Friday after work, nothing else but to look forward to the weekend. Unfortunately, this weekend we have no games to look forward to, so this is gonna be one of those weekends where we're just gonna be chilling and just chatting about the international match week and go from there. So, without further ado, I was about to add my guess, but he just moved off. But yeah, so without further ado, we're gonna add RJ to the stage. What's up, man? How is
Not
everything
much,
going?
bro. How's it going?
Good, good, good. So, nothing much happening so far. We're talking about, we're looking at the international match week because that's about it. That's all there is to look forward to. It's the international match week, and
Yeah. I was watching the games today. No, paying attention to the games today while I was chilling. They don't. It's in, what was it? Nations League. The
yeah.
qualifiers are no. I think it was World Cup qualifiers today. So, let's talk about the results.
Before we even touch the results, because I haven't paid attention to international football. For me, it's just one of those. It's a time filler.
Hmm.
There's not much to international football for me personally, so I don't really pay much attention to it.
Yeah.
But the title of this one is called "The Aftermath of the Cup of the League Cup." What's the aftermath of that? Because there was a lot of people who were saying that Isaac could be gone. It,
Hmm.
if new from Newcastle, because Newcastle is not winning anything, so there's a high chance of Isaac leaving. Now Newcastle have just landed themselves their first trophy in I think about 50 years or something like that.
Yeah.
Also, Newcastle are just a few points off top five because top
Top
five
five,
gets
and
to
they
Champions League.
yeah, and they
No,
already secured a spot in Europe, winning
yeah, so
the
they're in the conference league as it speaks
yeah
with that trophy. But a top five finish will get them into
Champions
the,
League.
the Champions League.
Yeah.
Um, my thing is this: is with Newcastle securing Champions League football, do you think Isak needs to leave Newcastle, or will he leave Newcastle?
I don't see him leaving right now unless the money that's put forward for him is so substantial, so good that Newcastle is saying, yeah, we have to take it, and then we try and find somebody else. But I see them renegotiating his contract, giving him a little bit more money because he's on form. He's in form, sorry, and they've secured Europe. And like you said, they're not far away from top five. So either way, if they don't make Champions League, they make Europa League. So they're in Europe. So I think they will keep him unless the money that comes forward is so good that they're gonna say, yeah, we're gonna take this and let him go. That's the only way I see him leaving. I
So,
don't see him putting in a transfer request, staying out of the team to push a move to another team. He performed well in the Carabao Cup. They at the end of it they got the win, and I think this is something that Newcastle Eddie Howe can build on, especially with Isaac.
so this is where things is at right now, and there's a few clubs linked with Isak, including Liverpool as well.
Mm.
My thing is this: is that going to as a Isak, you're going in for Isak. You're trying to convince him to come to the club. First thing you're gonna be going to him and be like, okay, Liverpool is bigger than Newcastle. However, you're not sure if Van Dijk is gonna be there, Salah is gonna be there, or Trent is gonna be there. So at the moment, you're trying to entice him to come to the Liverpool, who's been linked with him, without guarantees of any other star player is there. You can flip the role again and even go back to say Arsenal the same. The fact that Newcastle has landed a trophy since Isak came to England and Arsenal still haven't, it's very hard for you to tempt him out of Newcastle.
There's
No,
no
even
club. I don't think there's any club in England that will tempt him on for him to leave.
There is, but it's just the ones that can. There's just too much uncertainties right now. Because I believe that if, for example, if Liverpool put the money down that Newcastle wanted, but if that includes we keeping Salah, Van Dijk, and Trent to show him that we're about to win now, then he would make the move. The fact that there's so much uncertainties happening, that's the other thing. No, it's easier for him to buy into the Newcastle project that he's already a part of right at this moment. Because all they have to look at him and be like, see what we can do. All we need is a few more signings, and they're just a few more signings away.
Yep, they are.
And he has like 3 years left on his contract, minimum, I think.
Yeah, like Liverpool can go in and get him, and without a doubt. But I think he's at the point for the next 2 years. I can be wrong. I think his mindset is set on staying there and seeing what he can achieve. I think after 2 years, if say after this season they kind of regress a little bit, then he might consider leaving. But I think this will be a huge step forward for him and Newcastle going forward. And I know there will be a few bids coming in across Europe for Isaac, not only in England but across Europe for a few other teams. But I don't see him leaving.
So the problem is that there's a few things. In Europe, only a few teams can afford Isaac, and one of them is PSG.
Yeah.
The other one is Real Madrid. Outside of that, nobody else can.
Yeah.
No, when you're looking at for example, Newcastle owners right now, everybody's looking at, okay, if you're coming with the money, the new APT case that City won that allowed owners to sponsor the club.
Yeah,
that simply means that this transfer window, Newcastle, if PSR allow Newcastle to spend say 100 to 200 million, the new APT rule will allow the owners to add more money on top of that to invest in the squad.
Yeah.
So again, and to be fair, if Newcastle invests another 100 to 150 in this squad, this is a serious title challenging squad we're looking at.
I wouldn't put as far as title challenging.
No, I'm putting it. No,
I
am going to put
it as far as title challenging yet. But this is it will be a team that will definitely be around that top 4, that Champions League position for the next 2 seasons. I won't say title charge yet, but they will definitely. They're a good team. They're a few signs away from being a consistent team that can push another team out of that Champions League spot. But I'm not gonna say title winning.
All right. So this is why I say title charge. Like they could, if with about four proper signings, they could go title charge.
Yeah.
Here is the 4. Here is it. No, why I say that? No.
Yeah.
For Newcastle, they have a good
Wait, hold up. Before you go in there, somebody said what? Replacement in top 4? Tottenham was never in top 4. Tottenham is there.
Yeah, but in the top 6, it would be a replacement for Tottenham.
For Tottenham,
and they have all
and
these.
If it continues like this, we can say Man United as well.
It's gonna be hard for them to replace Man U. Yeah, but listen what I'm saying. Listen to this now. They're missing a goalkeeper.
I think that's the least of their trouble. I think I still think they can give Nick Pope another 2 seasons.
No.
Yes.
They have to find a better goalkeeper than Nick Pope because Nick Pope is literally a mid-table goalkeeper.
It doesn't matter. We've seen
they need a center.
No. Back to the goalkeeper. We've seen mid-table goalkeeper in Sanchez and Raya that is at Chelsea and Arsenal right now. So I still think
perfect.
They're still no. And where's Arsenal? And where's Arsenal in the league?
Winning nothing.
It doesn't matter winning nothing.
Yeah, but
he's still a good goalkeeper based on I think you can keep the goalkeeper and build the defense in front of him.
Okay.
I think the goalkeeper can stay.
He's still a good goalkeeper, but Newcastle ain't looking to top 4. Newcastle is looking to win. This is the difference between the American owners that we have and the Arab owners that City and Newcastle have. They don't build for top 4. They build to win.
That is understandable.
So,
but
again, I'm just saying the
I
position.
think the goalkeeper is at the bottom of the list.
It doesn't matter where it's at the list. They still need to up.
Of course.
It still needs to be replaced.
It does.
I'm just talking about where they need to improve. It doesn't matter where it is on the list.
All right.
They need to improve goalkeeper.
Other place.
They need to improve center back. They need one more center back to go with Bachman.
Yeah.
They need right winger. Which side Jacob Murphy play on?
Murphy? Yeah, that's the right winger. So yeah, they need a right winger.
They need a right winger.
Yeah.
I believe their midfield is extremely good. I think they have the best balanced midfield in the Premier League.
Okay.
And that's something that I always say. Best balance. It's technical. It's gritty for the Premier League. Like they'll get down and work, and they have creativity out of that midfield as well.
Mm-hmm.
They have one of the best strikers in the league, and everybody know you need if you have a striker that can score you goals, you can win that league.
Yeah.
Because again, I'm even for next season, and this is not hard.
Wait. Tonali, isn't he on the right when fit, or does he play in the middle?
Middle. So the midfield. The midfield is Tonali, Guimaraes,
and Joe Linton.
And Joe Linton.
Okay.
That is if you want an ideal Premier League midfield, you have it right there.
Mm-hmm.
And that's it. That's just what I'm thinking they're missing. Go for a title challenge, not winning the league, but challenge for the league. Mm-hmm. And challenging for the league, you can be anywhere. Again, if they get a better goalkeeper and a better and one more centre back to go with Bachman and a right winger that's producing as much as Gordon is producing. You don't even have to go that he's producing like Salah production. Just somebody who can help.
Listen, nobody is going to be producing a Salah production anytime soon.
So even if they have that right now, that team is looking better than Arsenal team.
It doesn't. It's the consistency. To stay consistent. Because besides from the right winger that you're saying, yes, another center back, but it's how consistent they're going to be for next season, because they still have to gel, and that's why I'm saying I see them say yes, push for a top 4 spot, but not the title. Because by what you're saying, with them spending more money, that's giving City, so we can expect a full City rebuild coming this summer as well.
Yes, and there's a full City rebuild coming. There's a full Liverpool rebuild coming.
Mm-hmm.
There's Arsenal. You don't know what they're gonna do.
But no. But
there's Chelsea sacking their manager at the end of the season, so it's a new manager coming in.
I don't see them sacking the manager.
Well, he ain't winning. He ain't gonna challenge if he stays there next season.
Mm-hmm.
Because Chelsea doesn't have the tools. Sorry, Chelsea does not have the tools to compete.
I think Chelsea, for me right now, Chelsea
have the worst goalkeeper in the league. Chelsea have the worst goalkeeper in the league. Arsenal I believe, have one of the most overrated goalkeeper in the league. Because if you watch that game between Arsenal and Chelsea, did you watch it?
No, I did.
Okay, then that goes to show you why you don't have mid-table goalkeepers in your goal if you're trying to win a league. David Raya almost one ball almost went right through David Raya, almost went from Cucurella, almost went into the goal through his hands, not diving. Cucurella shot the ball straight at him, and it flew through his hands, almost going into the goal.
I still think the goalkeepers is the least of their. Every goalkeeper is gonna have their bad season or a few mishaps.
Yes, but this is the thing: when you have top goalkeepers and you want to win, you have to put goalkeepers that's not going to have a bad season in goal. if you look at every single top team to ever win, have a good goalkeeper in their goal that does not have bad seasons. And their bad season, even when they do have a bad season, their bad season is still better than 98% of who is in the league.
Yeah, and okay, David Sanchez, yes, but I think David Raya is still having a decent season.
David Raya is not good. David Raya is still not better than Emi Martinez.
Yeah, and we agree with that. We totally agree with that. Yes, Chelsea. So, if Chelsea doesn't win the Conference League, then yeah, they have to win the Champions League. They have to. Like how they went through the group stage, how they're going through the quarterfinals and everything. There's no team in the Conference League to beat Chelsea. So if they don't win it, I don't know what to tell Chelsea fans.
Yeah, but to be fair, it is give me a second here. It is one of them. The goalkeeping right now, like you guys had De Gea in goal for years. Your defense have been bad for years.
Yep.
David De Gea get you guys 10 to 15 points every season.
Yep.
The instant David De Gea is out the goal, and exactly. So this is what I mean when I said you all need, if you need to get up there, you need to challenge. You need a goalkeeper that when they're on their bad season, it's still better
than everybody else. No, I fully agree with you on that one. You need a goalkeeper, but the thing is, Arsenal got rid of Martinez, right? So they had to
attitude problem.
Yeah, and they had to get somebody else. The performance that David Raya was putting in at Brentford, say, we'll go and get him.
Okay, when David Raya leave, was it Brentford? No,
Brentford.
He left Brighton.
No, Brentford.
Brentford.
Sanchez came from Brighton.
Okay, but then you look at it and be like, we all did this before. See a keeper playing mid to low table in England and think that they are good when the fact of the matter is most of the team play deeper, so therefore they are getting more protection and they're getting lots of shots on them right throughout the game. Yep. So therefore they're alert. When you go to the bigger teams, less shots at the goalkeeper. The keeper have nothing to do except for maybe one moment in the game.
Yep.
Right? So that again is just one of them. That's why I don't believe what's his name? Raya is a good keeper.
But okay, so because every position right now to me, that you're saying, there's a shortage of players in these positions. So
not really.
Okay.
Goalkeeper, there's not really a shortage.
Who you gonna get?
You can get Diego Costa.
Okay, from Porto. All right.
Yeah,
all right.
We went and get Mamadashvili when we have two very good goalkeepers, and
But he's not playing.
Who?
When the goalkeeper, is he playing?
Who? Mamadashvili?
Yeah.
He's coming in next season. Kelleher is leaving, and he's coming in because Alisson is not going to stay on beyond next season. So we have two good goalkeepers, and we went out and find a replacement.
Okay.
He might never be as good as Alisson, and he could be better. I don't know what I'm getting. I haven't seen him, but I know that.
But that's the risk that everybody takes.
I know that.
Because where are you buying Euro? Where are you getting him from?
Valencia.
Okay, where is he playing? That's a mid-table team.
Yes, but he had a very good Euros.
Okay.
When he's on the big stage as a Euro, he had a good Euro. Plus, the club is like fully data driven. It's the reason. It's the reason why we signed. It's the reason why we signed Alisson.
That's a mid-table team. When on the sign Alisson, Alisson was a goalkeeper.
First season I playing for Roma.
Okay, and he had a good season, so that's what everybody's
only one season.
When they signed David Raya, he was having a tremendous season at Brentford. When they went for Sanchez, he was having a really good season at Brighton too.
The difference is, and I'm going to tell you the difference. A mid-table English team play mid to low block. A mid-table Spanish team play full on transit, play full on. We're playing like we're one of the best teams in the world. They don't
Yeah.
sit 10, 15 man behind the ball. What I'm trying to say is if that a goalkeeper like coming from one of these leagues are, even though they might not be way up at the top, but if when you're playing, especially like you're challenging and you're being up there, where your goalkeeper is gonna have more, like he might have a one-on-one to save because you're not gonna have so much people around him to protect him.
Mhm.
You need that as well. We have tried it. We have tried Minale. We
Yeah, I
have
remember
tried.
Minale.
We have so many other people have tried. Like Aaron Ramsdale. He looked good.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's what it is. It's that we went out and
I think with the goalkeeper, it's a chance you take. It's either it works out, and or it doesn't.
my thing is that it
And
didn't.
that's
And my thing for Arsenal is that they didn't need to take the chance. They had the reason, and one of the reasons for getting rid of
Ramsdale.
no
Martinez left years ago.
yeah, but the reason for getting rid of Martinez,
He wanted to play, and they decided to go with Leno instead.
because Martinez won him the FA Cup.
Mhm.
Leno was injured, and Martinez asked for 10 games in the first season to prove
Mhm.
in the next season to prove that he can be the number one. He didn't request to be the number one. He just wanted 10 games to prove that he's the number one. And he's like, no. And then he's like, okay, then if I'm not even gonna get 10 games to prove myself, might as well I leave. Which is fair enough. You're checking that?
Yeah. I have to check. Because I've just been paying attention to the top half because it's so interesting.
They're not
60. They're in the relegation, and he's the you're taking
again,
a chance. You're taking a chance.
Last season,
Thank you, Kyle. Thank you. Yes.
Last season, Valencia finished 8th.
Okay.
Last season they finished 8th.
Yeah.
No,
and he had a
look at the two goalkeepers that Arteta inherit and let go. Leno at Fulham and the Aston Villa keeper. One win a World Cup. One is solid.
Yeah, we all know they were both solid goalkeepers,
right? And I don't rate Leno. Like honestly speaking, personally, I don't rate Leno. But I do believe that Martinez, they dropped the ball on Martinez. Kyle knows. The first time I saw Martinez playing was when he was on in loan in Spain. And I'm like, Jesus Christ, one of the Premier League clubs should sign this keeper. Because I was watching a La Liga game and I'm like, and then I looked up and I'm like, he's on loan from Arsenal. And I called him and I'm like, dude, how do you have a goalkeeper from that on loan, which is better than the goalkeeper that you have right now? And he's like Martinez is at Arsenal since he was 12, bro.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then Ramsdale, he keeps Leno to trade him for Ramsdale, and then Ramsdale.
It wasn't even a trade. He sent Leno to Fulham and then bought Ramsdale. I didn't see we all were wondering why he went for a goalkeeper that was relegated twice, looking to get relegated a third time, right? Over the two goalkeepers that he had. But was
Ramsdale from Sunderland?
No, Ramsdale is from Sheffield and Bournemouth. When they got relegated.
Okay.
So, and that was a back-to-back season relegated because he got relegated with Bournemouth and then went to Sheffield, and Sheffield lost again, and went down the following season. And then they got him. They got him for a good fee when he got relegated with Sheffield, and they brought him in at Arsenal.
Okay. Yeah. It's just a weird one where but back to the goalkeeping situation. There is good goalkeepers out there.
Okay.
Yes.
Oh, for sale?
For everybody's for sale. Everybody is for sale.
Okay.
when the front three was with Neymar, Messi, and Luis Suarez, and somebody said the PSG wanted Neymar, what would you say? Neymar wasn't for sale, right?
I didn't say that.
No, but you'd have said that.
Yeah,
You
fair enough.
you
Yeah,
would have said that.
because they're coming off a La Liga. I
He's
think they
playing,
won La Liga, and
he's playing
before
in
they
the
won the
best
treble.
front trio in the world. Why would you want to leave? He left. There's a price.
Everybody.
It's just who's willing to pay it.
Mm-hmm.
But there's a few positions on the field that I think just finish off with Arsenal that I think Arsenal can't get right.
Yeah.
Left back, goalkeeper,
And striker.
left winger, and striker.
Mm.
Arteta, I don't know how to coach that.
Striker.
He cannot coach a good goalkeeper. He cannot coach a good left back. He cannot coach a good left winger.
Who's their right back right now? Timber.
Yeah, but if it's not Timber, it's White.
Yeah. And he don't, because he still isn't Kieran Tierney back.
Yeah, but he doesn't want Kieran Tierney, which is the best left back still. So he got rid of their best goalkeeper that they have. Don't want to play their best left back that they still have.
Mm-hmm.
Ruin Martinelli. Ruin Trossard.
Martin.
Ruin anybody else who goes on the left.
Mm-hmm.
And still don't want to buy a striker.
Well, how do we know? Let's give him the benefit of the doubt and say.
Okay, let's give him the benefit of the doubt that you have 11 position on the field.
You have
that 11
striker
position on the field.
That they did not buy the striker or the striker. They're trying to get a striker. They haven't gotten them yet.
Okay. 5 years you have been trying to get a striker, but you haven't got him yet.
Okay, for the last 3, I think the
5
3
years.
I think
you have been trying to get a striker, and you haven't got a striker yet.
Mm-hmm.
One striker that he bought. Arteta has bought one striker since he's at Arsenal.
Gabriel Jesus.
Yep.
Yeah, I know.
One. How much midfielders is he? How much defensive midfielders have he bought?
He got Declan Rice, Mikel Moreno. Who else?
All the other bang average ones that I sent out on loan.
Oh, she said Cedric Suarez.
No, that's not him.
That wasn't him. That wasn't him. No. Who else?
Vieira. No, that's Vieira. It's not Fabio Vieira.
I know Fabio Vieira wasn't him.
Fabio him? Yes. Yes. Okay. And a bunch of other bang average.
Where is Fabio?
And Party as well.
Party was him.
Party was him.
Party was him.
Party was him. This is an Arsenal fan. Party was him.
All right.
And then let's count on the numerous. And also, he bought Kai Havertz.
Okay.
They still don't have a good midfield.
That's a Chelsea problem. Arsenal problem. Arsenal.
No, but it's a coach problem. He keep playing everybody out of position.
But
Odegaard is at 8. No,
I told you immediately after that I told you who was gonna suffer the most from that Kai Havertz signing. I told you that Martinelli will be the one suffering from that signing. I told you off the jump.
But I don't think Martinelli is the one suffering from Kai Havertz signing.
Who?
Is Mikel Arteta is the one suffering from Kai Havertz signing?
Because
he's the one suffering.
Because I said it immediately after they sign Kai Havertz, that Martinelli is the one that's going to struggle. Because remember, Martinelli is coming after a 15-goal season the season before he came. So
but okay, I'm going to tell you something. Kai Havertz is not why Martinelli is struggling.
It's the
you know why Martinelli? You know why Martinelli is struggling?
Why?
Odegaard. All right. Next match week, next Arsenal game, you look at Arsenal number 10.
Is Martinelli injured?
No. Okay. Look, just that's all I want to say to you. Look at Arsenal number 10. Look at Odegaard. When he picks up the ball, the man is like they put a weight on his right side. That man only drifts right and go play with whoever is on the right side of the field. It's the only number 10 I know in history that doesn't pass forward, doesn't pass left. You only pass to the right. This is why Arsenal is suffering, is because since Saka is out and he can't pass the ball to nobody on the right, he doesn't know what to do. Yes, you can say Kai Havertz, but at the end of the day, if your midfielder isn't passing the ball to you your attacking midfielder, we're supposed to find you in the game. Can't find you. The problem is Martinelli was getting a lot of ball before because what's his name? That's at that left. Leverkusen.
Leno? Oh no. Leverkusen.
Yeah. The Arsenal dude. Xhaka.
Xhaka?
Yeah. He was the one who was. Look at the year Martinelli was scoring a lot of goals, and look where the balls were coming from for everybody on that left. It was from Xhaka that was playing the ball down the left. Which Kai? Which Kai are you talking about?
Want to peep the stats on Kai, bro.
Kai Sanat? Which Kai are you talking about? If you're talking about Kai Sanat, then Kai Sanat's stat is like crazy, bro.
Havertz stats. All right.
Yeah. His stats is all
right. 9 goals this season, 3 assists. Cool.
For who?
Kai Havertz.
Yeah, that's not cool.
Huh?
That's not cool. Okay, let me tell you how that's not cool.
Mm-hmm.
Check out Liam Delap stats.
Who?
Liam Delap stats. Yeah, we're going there. We go in there. You want to check out Kai stats? Go check out Liam Delap stats.
All right, let me find it. Give me a sec.
Oh no! I can't tell you that.
No. I'll let me do the honors.
Okay,
13 goal, 13 and 7 assists for the season. Okay.
Yeah, all competition.
Stats so far: Liam Delap has 10 goals and 2 assists.
Playing for who?
Ipswich.
Where is Ipswich?
Relegation.
Why Ipswich in the relegation?
They're a terrible team.
Where are we going with this, man? I don't think he's back up to Jesus. I think Kai Havertz needs Jesus. Like, he's not back up to Jesus, bro. What is he, Peter? The man ain't no backup, man. The man is a failed midfielder that your manager spent 60-something million on. I have to play him. So stick him up front and lob the ball to him.
Yeah. So I know it says 13 and 7. I'm talking the Premier League. I'm talking he has 9 goals in the Premier League, 3 assists. That's what he has so far. That ain't bad. And he's out.
That's bad.
That's not
That is bad. That is bad if you have 9 goals, 3 assists, leading the line for a title charge. That is bad. How do I know? Because I have two bad strikers.
Who?
Darwin Núñez and Diego Jota. Bro, we are saying, listen to this. Liverpool fans are complaining about Luis Diaz stats.
Mm-hmm.
This is Luis Diaz stats, and we're complaining about it.
Mm. He has 9 goals.
Who?
Luis Diaz.
Exactly, and every Liverpool fan here complain about Luis Diaz, right? Luis Diaz has been rotating in and out with Cody Gakpo.
Mm-hmm.
13 goals and 7 assists is is for a mid-table to lower half striker. It's not for a team that's challenging in the Champions League or for a team that's challenging for the league. Tell me 1 year you challenge for the Champions League and the league for Manchester United where your striker score 13 goals and 7 assists by March.
I can't remember.
No, when you're challenging for the league.
When you're challenging, yeah, when we challenge for the league, never. Even under Ole, when he came second, the striker was doing well.
Come on, like what are we doing here, man?
No, not the striker. Bruno that season went off for Ole. He had like 18 goals that season.
Okay. Yes.
That's a far stretch. That's a far stretch.
No. It's not a far stretch. It's a very reasonable take. Kai Havertz is better than Darwin Núñez. No, hold on a second. It doesn't take much to be better than Darwin Núñez.
I will not accept the Núñez slander.
Right? It doesn't take much. Eddie Nketiah is better than Darwin Núñez.
No.
Yes. Yes, Riddick. Yes.
I will not accept. I just think he's going through a rough patch.
A very long rough patch.
Cost what, 72 mil?
Yes, we all know that. Yes, we dropped 70 million on him, but we're okay to put him on the bench to make sure that we win. Right? Yes, we dropped 70, but we're okay to put him on the bench for the greater good of the team. I'm not out here making any excuses.
Kyle, but remember, yes, they dropped 70 mil for him, but at the end of it, he does have a Carabao Cup and
a Premier League.
And a Premier League. Y'all haven't won anything yet. My bad. I'm one to talk. My team is in the dump right now. My team is in the dump, but still, we did win a FA Cup last season. So
this season, Darwin have 5 goals.
Yeah, 5 goals and 3 assists, I think.
And 2 assists in the Prem alone.
Yeah.
Right? So, total this season, not bad.
How much?
Right? Not bad.
How much?
Bad. 7. Total this season. Not bad. Okay? Not bad. But last season was Kai Havertz's best year, right?
Scoring?
Yeah. Last season was Kai Havertz's best year. Because we're doing a mid-off here. We're doing a mid-off. Who has the worst striker? At least we're getting rid of ours.
Kai Havertz last season, he had 13 goals in the Premier League.
7 assists.
And 7 assists. He had 1 goal in the Champions League. And that was it for...
So total goal last season was how much? And total assists?
Total goal in total, he had what, 20? Well on there.
So he had 13, 14. Yeah, that's it. He had 14 goals last season.
20 goal assist GA contribution last season.
Okay, we just took on goal because they're striker. Well, the striker, we look on the count goals for striker.
Sorry.
He has 14 goals last season.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
Yeah.
How much Darwin Núñez have last season?
Wait, let me check. Let me check.
One AFL goal.
Yeah. Last season.
Yeah. 5 Europa League goal.
He had 11 in the Premier League.
Yeah.
4 in Champions League.
No, we didn't play Champions League last season. We played Europa.
Sorry. He had 5 in Europa.
Yeah.
In
Prem, that's 16.
Yeah. And he had one in the EFL Cup.
So he had a better season than Kai Havertz last season. Because I'm not talking about GA. And if we talk about GA now, if we want to add the GA now, he had 8 assists in the league, 1 assist in Europa, that's 9, right? And 3 in the EFL Cup. So Darwin Núñez last season had a better season than Kai Havertz's best season in Arsenal. Do not compare Darwin Núñez to Kai Havertz. Because I think Darwin Núñez is shit. So if I think Darwin Núñez is shit, and you want to compare that he's better, man, what are we doing here, man? At least he's not starting for us. He's only out here because guess what? He has to come on. 13-7 across our league this season. Okay? That's what? 20 GA. That's last season. 20 GA. Darwin Núñez had 20-something GA last season.
No, that I think that's this season.
For Kai Havertz?
Yeah. Because he has 9 and 3.
Okay.
In the Premier League, and he has 4 and 1 in the.
Oh no,
Champions
that's last
League.
season. That's last season. 13-7 last season.
13-7.
Yeah, 13-7 last season in the Prem.
Okay.
In the Prem.
That was that was last season.
That was last season.
Okay, so
last season in the Prem, Darwin Núñez have 11-8.
So just one behind you.
Yup, and Darwin Núñez is the worst striker there is on planet Earth.
No.
No. For me, Darwin Núñez is the worst Liverpool striker I've ever seen. He beat Ricky Lambert because Ricky Lambert never there so long. At least Ricky Lambert McCarron just remember saying he used to play in the yellow jersey every time I pick up the yellow jersey.
Yeah, last season he had what? 13.
Yeah, 13-7 in the Prem. Darwin Núñez have 11-8.
Yeah, this season Kai Havertz is what 9 goals in the Premier League so far.
Okay, hooray! 9 goals in 21 games and 3 assists. Right, Darwizi have 5 and 2, and 90% of his games are 5 minutes appearances. We're talking about somebody who start. When was the last time you see Kai Havertz on a bench? When was the last time you see Kai Havertz sitting on the bench, not getting any game at Arsenal? He doesn't hold bench. Does not hold bench. So back to the original point, like from about 35 minutes ago, before we went off the mid-off between Darwin Núñez and Kai Havertz. Back to there. This proves to you that if Newcastle make those signings, Newcastle can challenge. City have a lot of work to do in the summer. A lot. They can do it. But the amount of players coming in might be harder to gel for City than the amount of players that Newcastle need to come in. Liverpool, we have a full rebuild to do. I'm going to do a video on that. And it's not going to be any big names coming in. It's going to be data-driven. It's going to be players that fit the manager's style of play. Maybe they might take a year to gel. Maybe it might not. It might work. It might not work. But FSG is going to do FSG things. They're going to try to lower the wage bill. That's why they're trying to get rid of all of the players who want big wages. And then once they lower the wage bill, we're going to do a full-on rebuild. That removed 2. Chelsea is going to sack their manager at the end of the season. Because they're not going to finish top 5.
What position are they in right now?
The position, if you wanna drive on a bus, you'd have worry about. You're there the position at the door where the doctor try to lock the door and the door can't lock. And the position there.
So
but you know, you're the last.
They're 1 point ahead of City. They're 2 points ahead of Brighton and Newcastle, and 4 points ahead of Fulham and Aston Villa. Where's United? Nowhere to be seen.
Yeah, but again, as I said, it's just what do you call that? No, it's pretty much just a mid-off, to be fair.
Mm-hmm. This is a mid-season, no lie.
It's not a mid-season. It's just that it's not mid-season. Problem is, Liverpool went out this season just to get honest a foot under the table. Manchester City gambled on the players that them have, similar to how Liverpool gambled on the players in the midfield that season that everybody fell off. Right? So that's what happened. So therefore, they fell off because they took a gamble. Gamble didn't work. Chelsea is nowhere to be found. Because again, as I said to you before, and I know it, a new manager, new ears in these young players, it's going to become even more inconsistent. They started out well. I thought that, you know what, maybe I was wrong. But no, they're going to finish lower than where Poch finished. So again, that's another thing. United should have sacked your manager in the summer, bring in a new manager. Your owner doesn't know what he's doing. Right, because like the documentary that I watched with him and Gary Neville, where he's talking about that he has to cut staff because it's the only way to save money. Because if he didn't save 2.4 million, Manchester United would be going out of money by the ending of in 3 months. I'm like, what are you talking about? And people are running with it. I'm like you can't do math. So you're telling me that it's just the people who clean the floor, a few janitors and a few older players that you guys are giving $40,000 is what going to save Manchester United? How about you didn't sack the technical director that you hired? How about you didn't give Ten Hag the new contract? Right? Then you're complaining about players like Rasmus Højlund and all these other players. Sancho, and I'm like, bro, I know what you're doing. You're just here to piggyback off the Glazers and suck United dry. That's all you're doing.
That's all you're doing.
So yeah, that's why you guys are not there. But you guys should be happy that these 3 teams come up are so bad, or else you guys will get relegated.
But it's true. We would have been down there with Wolves and not even Everton, because Everton get a bounce there and it'll go on good. So who knows? It's like, because we always sit down and we say, if the 3 teams coming up, if they're not as good, because last season, what besides from the teams that got relegated, who were the bottom 3 after them?
Wolves.
It was Nottingham Forest, Brentford, and Everton.
Yeah.
Right? So this season, Brentford, this season, all of those 3 teams are performing really well. Because Nottingham Forest is 3rd, Brentford is 11th, and Everton is away from relegation. So you might be onto something. Maybe it just never work out for Ten Hag. Maybe it just never work out.
Well, it's actually two in two. But that's not true. That is not true. Arteta won more trophies.
What? Community Shield?
He won one FA
One
Cup and
FA
two
Cup.
Community Shield. Yeah. Yes. See? No. Back to jumping. We're jumping all over the place because the mid off took the whole stream off
I could
course.
say a Fryday vibes. Just...
Fryday vibes. It's just a Fryday vibes. No. On a more realistic point, where do you think Arsenal?
Not hearing you.
You sure you're not hearing me? It should be.
No.
Okay, I'm hearing you like clear. So I don't know if it's
difficulties on the live.
So I don't know if it's on your side.
Nothing.
Okay. Can you hear me in the chat? You want jump out and jump back in?
Nothing. Really? On a big live?
Okay, hold on. Yeah. Also your everything is gone. I just removed your idea back and it's not added. Oh, hold on, people. All right, so technical difficulties. Yeah, his computer crashed, so that's what happens. So his computer crashed. No, the topic I wanted to get into was the Arsenal topic. Is do we think Arsenal have a chance against Real Madrid? That game is coming up and stuff like that. Yeah, the Community Shield is a friendly. I don't count them. They try to count them in England. Some clubs do, some clubs don't, but we don't count them. Yeah. All right, can you hear you now?
Yeah, man.
Yeah, I could hear you. Everybody could hear you. Yep, Tottenham with their Audi Cup, and yep, okay, you can hear both of us. All right. No, the next topic we're going to go on is Arsenal is playing Real Madrid. That for me is the most talked about fixture in the Champions League coming up right now. What do you think Arsenal chances are of going?
Okay. Can I be honest?
Yes.
I'm saying a good 50-50. I think it's a good 50-50. To me, it's a good 50-50. I know you're going to say, I know you say they don't have a striker or anything, but I am not convinced with this Real Madrid.
You need a striker to win
Real
the league.
Madrid. Yeah.
You don't need a striker to win Champions League.
Striker to win Champions League. Okay. But
yeah,
I am
Chelsea
not
win it with Kai Havertz.
Real Madrid. It wasn't only Kai Havertz. It was Tammy Abraham was there. So they had a striker.
No, we kicked Tammy Abraham to the side. They wanted with Kai Havertz.
No. You ain't gonna do.
You're gonna do Tammy like that?
No. He was a good striker. But that game is a 50-50. The same amount of chance I gave Real Madrid, I give it to Arsenal because I don't trust their defense. I think their defense is too. How can I put it? They will go into this match thinking that they can qualify, and that's their downfall. That it's an easy qualification, and that's their downfall. I think they can be caught out on the break.
I'm going to tell you exactly how this is going to go. Arsenal is going to play 2 banker 6.
2 bunker 6.
2 banks of 6. Okay. I know it's only 11 players allowed on the field, but somehow both Arteta and Win the Dog is gonna end up on the field. Right? So they're gonna go 6 in defense, 6 in midfield. Just joking. Anyways, they're gonna go nobody up front. Clog the midfield, clog the defense. Real Madrid have no space. All Arsenal need is a corner. Yeah, you laugh. All Arsenal
you're absolutely right. Yeah.
1-0 and they're through.
And you know they're gonna fight for that corner. They're gonna fight for you.
The difference is, and this is when I listen to a lot of spaces and stuff. People looking at it, football on the ground, pretty football, blah 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 blah, all the crazy stuff. And I'm like, I grew up watching the Champions League before I started watching the English Premier League, because in Jamaica, when you had CVM, that's all CVM carried back in the day. Champions League. I've seen the second Galacticos. The first Galacticos was in the 60s. The second Galacticos, Real Madrid with Zidane, Figo, Beckham, all of that.
Ronaldo, all of that.
One Champions League that team won.
Mm-hmm.
Is a reason why that team won only one Champions League. Yet still, Mourinho with Porto.
Mm-hmm. Mourinho with
Rafa Benitez with Liverpool.
Mm-hmm.
Because the one thing you need to know how to do is to manage a game. Right? And if you know that you're not the team that you need to go out and attack, you can manage the game. You can manage the game. The only problem I have with Arsenal is this. It's not Mikel Arteta. It's the players. If the players go out there and decide that they get a little bit cold feet and then concede, that's where the problem comes in. No, they have to get out to go try to score against Real Madrid. Without a striker, that becomes a problem. But I can see Arsenal winning Real Madrid. I actually have Arsenal about 60 to 70% going through.
That's too much.
And it's not too much. And I'm going to tell you why. If you put up a corner against Real Madrid, Arsenal are going to score it. And the thing that with Real Madrid is anybody sit deep against Real Madrid and don't allow Mbappe or anyone have any space, them struggle.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Let's be honest. Me complaining about the finals against Real Madrid, and you said to me, there's nothing else Jurgen Klopp could do to win the game. And I said we just needed a different plan.
Mm-hmm.
We just needed somebody else. If we were good at corners, we could have scored a goal against Real Madrid.
Yeah. But back to yeah. If you had a different plan, but brother.
Courtois was on his money. The problem with Real Madrid is this. Arsenal does not have a striker, so Arsenal doesn't need to go pressing. Arsenal doesn't need to go flying forward attacking. And let's be honest, this is a game that calling out for a Martinelli, calling out for a Trossard, to have the millions of room behind the defense running.
And they'll get it.
They will get it. And let's be honest, when you talk about Tony Pulis FC, this is where you're talking about. The only thing they're missing is a Rory Della, a long throw. You just need somebody who can throw the ball about 50, 60 yards into the box, and you're good.
Good.
We have Stoke 2.0 again. And that will win your Champions League. That will win your cup. If them get Real Madrid all the way down to penalties, they don't have to do that. I wouldn't play Saka. I would not play Saka for this game. Playing Saka for this game, if Saka comes back and Saka play now, guarantee Saka won't have a career until he's 27. Guarantee he won't have a career until he's 27. We've seen this before.
Time and time again.
We see Michael Owen. Rush back too early. Where's Michael Owen now? Dead. Rashford keeps getting rushed back too early when he used to pick up the little niggles. He never had an injury as bad as Saka. The Saka injury. I don't think people understand how bad Saka injury was. There's so much young talent that got rushed back too early because the clubs are dependent on them that they don't get to recover fully from their injuries, and they never ever see out a good career.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Because it's the team is too dependent on them. Arsenal can beat Real Madrid without Saka. You don't need Saka to beat Real Madrid. You just have to tell Real Madrid to break you down. If the first leg Real Madrid is 2 goals ahead and they're coming back, then yes, go to Saka. But you might be coming back. Where's the first leg? Is the first leg at Arsenal or is it at the Bernabeu?
Champions League.
Because I don't think
first leg I think is at the EPII.
Okay. You mean
at Emirates? Sorry. First leg at Emirates.
Yeah. No. You do. You're pushing Saka because you don't need Saka for Real Madrid. If you get past Real Madrid, you need Saka in the PSG game or the Aston Villa game. That's when you need Saka. Not for Real Madrid. You're not going to attack anyways. You are not going to attack anyways. I've played against this Real Madrid multiple times. When Real Madrid come up against a good team, they try to defend. And then wait until a certain moment of the game, then they spring you on the counter attack.
Because you can't stop their counter. Sorry, you can't.
Exactly. So the only way to stop the counter is not to attack. You don't attack, then you give them the ball, which Real Madrid don't get. Because if you watch in Spain, nobody says, here is the ball, let me just sit back and see what you're going to do with it. And Mikel Arteta is a very good defensive coach. Since he left Manchester City doesn't have a good defense. See, so you can know who was coaching the defense at Manchester City. So he was coaching the defensive side, Pep was coaching the offensive side. So he's out here building the best defense in the world, while Pep is building the best offense in the world. So that's it. But he can get through. I do think they'll come stuck and if they play Aston Villa though. If Aston Villa go through and they play Aston Villa, they're gonna get stuck.
Who?
Arsenal.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I don't care what anybody want to say. For the last couple of seasons, Arsenal beat the games that Arsenal beat Aston Villa. Look how many one-on-one Ollie Watkins missed before Arsenal scored. There's a lot of time like Aston Villa should have been up 2-3 goals before Arsenal scored. And think about it. Martinez is gonna have a grudge to knock them out. Emery is gonna have a grudge to knock them out.
They have a Rashford when I like Arsenal.
Yeah. It's all when you rush Saka back because you rush Saka have to play against Real Madrid and you get through, but Saka get injured again. Because again, in case you don't know, Real Madrid, they're not a fancy let's go pretty team. They are a dirty bunch. They kick and they roll around. They will kick you and fall on the floor and roll around and cry for foul. And then you have Rudiger in the back. Okay, like I've played them enough. I know what they have to offer. Jamaica draw 1-1 and Argentina up 1-0. Yeah. So we know what's gonna come. I do think Arsenal can get through. I don't see them winning the Champions League to the fact because I think Real Madrid is the easier tie out of Atletico Madrid. And I know people is gonna say, but they lost to Barcelona over the weekend. I watched that game, Atletico Madrid.
Okay.
I watched the game, and Atletico was cruising until Simeone made about 4 defensive change. And even then, Sherlock, that's his name? That's his name, the striker?
Yeah.
He missed an empty goal to put Atletico up 3 to kill the game off.
This is the second time they lost to Barcelona like that, you know. Second time.
If Arsenal win the Champions League next year, that means they're getting a new manager. Let's be honest. I mean, Real Madrid getting Trent and maybe Virgil next year. PSG might get Virgil because we ain't renewing their contracts. Salah might go Saudi, go have a good time, but again, he might want to break some more Premier League records and might end up go back. Yeah. Yeah. It's really funny because remember when Liverpool next year started. Yeah, back in the mid 2000s, we were at next year time. Like whenever they hit form close to this time, we were like, we just need 2 more signings and next year we win in the league. Been there and stuff. So yeah. But yeah, they won't win it, but I see that they can beat Real Madrid, and it's gonna be so much fun. Do you know what's gonna be fun?
What?
They're gonna get past Real Madrid, and the fan base is gonna be so gassed. And then when they come up against like a Unai Emery Aston Villa or a PSG, and they're just gonna get slapped. Because the thing is, if they come up against Aston Villa, they're gonna believe that they can beat Aston Villa. And if they come up against PSG, that front line is starting to cook.
So if they make it past Real Madrid, they
have Aston Villa
or PSG.
Yeah. But even though I said they have 70% chance of going through, which is very high, we're talking about Real Madrid in the knockout stages of the Champions League.
And they own the Champions League.
Then they just need 5% chance and they're through.
Not even, because that game they won against City, I think they had a less than a 1% chance to win.
Every game for the past 3 seasons have less than 1% chance to win.
No, I didn't get that.
Yes, every game for the last 3 seasons, Real Madrid have less than 1% chance of winning, but end up still winning. Every game. This is why City needed to knock Real Madrid out.
If it was a one leg, yeah.
But listen still. Arsenal just take off, just split the red a little bit and paint some white stripe over Arsenal and tell me what you get. The only thing Arsenal missing is Ricardo Fuller and Rory Dillon. That's it. That's it. So they like 10 behind the ball. They have it. So Arsenal have enough defensive midfielders and enough centre back and left back that they can play defensively. Arsenal have the most left back in the league and they have the most DM in the league. Listen to this lineup. Listen to this lineup that they can put out now. right? Odegaard is at 8. We know that for a fact.
Yeah.
So you can have a midfielder, Odegaard, Mikel Moreno, Declan Rice, Thomas Partey, Jorginho, right? Yeah, that's it. 5 midfield of defensive players, defensive ends. And then you look on them back line, full of defenders.
Mm-hmm.
And you look up front and they only have who? Martinelli and Trossard and Raheem Sterling look like him reach 38. I don't know, but we can't blame Sterling still. He might get free money. He can buy more clocks. And stuff, but yeah. That's it. But Arsenal will go through.
Yeah.
Arsenal will go through. I mean, we did put money upon them for win the league this season, but
Yeah, you did.
really them do everything for win the league.
Except by a striker.
Okay.
Except by a striker.
But let's be honest. Last season, Arsenal looked free flowing.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm saying, only thing you need was, okay, you have problem at left back, so you buy a left back. Goalkeeper shaky, but hey, you might can get away with it. If you continue and add more grit in the midfield, which I think that's what Mikel Moreno was going to bring.
Yeah, brother. 2 assists against PSV. Of course. You're supposed to have a good game against PSV. Them never should I get that far in the first place.
If that a Raheem Sterling level, then levels to this. Yeah. But this is what I'm thinking going into the season. Remember, me tell you City are going to fall off. Before a ball kick this season, me tell you City are going to fall off. Because we do a prediction.
But you always look for City fall off.
No.
That's the only way you're going to win.
No.
You always look for City.
But we tell you before
yes,
you did this season.
You did, sir.
Say City, just the transfers that them do over the summer was not good enough.
Yes, PSV beat Liverpool after Liverpool pull out everybody to play. If Liverpool did play everybody, PSV would not play Arsenal. And PSV never wouldn't and Liverpool wouldn't play PSG. So if a Liverpool fall that, because if Liverpool did play them team against PSV and beat PSV, they would not. PSG would have played Arsenal or somebody else. Then would not play PSG.
It is what it is. We again, and as I said this, if you're in a competition, you're supposed to be able to beat everybody who then put in front of you in the competition to win the competition.
Mm-hmm.
It's nice if I get an easy draw. It's nice if I get a favorable draw. But my belief is that if you're in the competition, you're supposed to be able to beat anybody then put in front of you to win the competition. Yeah. That is why no matter how people want to say it, that's what Real Madrid have been doing. Anybody then put in front of them, weak, strong opposition, then beat them, then win. That's from the view.
That's the bottom line, yeah.
And that's the bottom line about everything. But where was the topic again? the vibe shit.
So some question what this so we have
yeah,
you know.
Yeah, but again, it's so that's what I believe. Because remember, I did say that the predictions as well said I have Chelsea to finish 10th this season.
Yeah.
Right?
Mm-hmm.
Because I'm like, the top 4, the only surprise I have out of the top 4 is that Aston Villa.
Nottingham Forest up there.
No, just Aston Villa.
Yeah.
And stuff. And but didn't know the 3 sides will get promoted and get relegated as well. But way I burned down.
I know me.
Yeah.
We're not far.
But we might go watch along on Sunday. Or Saturday or Sunday. Maybe Saturday or Sunday. I don't know. It's it's what do you call it now? International long weekend. I don't know what to watch. Looking at the games where they want to do the Argentina game today, Argentina Uruguay. The game start too early for Friday vibes and stuff. But yeah, that's it. We might have a little bit bigger panel next week because we want to discuss about number 9s and why. Because I really want to dig deep into why Haaland is so underrated and why the disrespect.
Which Haaland? Who are disrespect Erling Haaland?
If you listen to the media, people, the way people talk about Erling Haaland, and this is not just on YouTube Spaces. This is in the big media. Where people talk about Erling Haaland, the things them I talk about, like him not have no talent whatsoever. The problem is people forget what a number 9 role is. Stick the ball in the back of the net. And if Erling Haaland stay again, I did a video a couple months ago, and people can go check it out. If Erling Haaland spend the next 2 seasons in the Premier League, he might push close to breaking a lot more goal scoring record.
Yeah.
If he still out in contract, when him just signed with City,
he might break the goal scoring record. It's a must. If him still out in contract when just signed, he might break the goal scoring record.
But we hold that discussion another time.
Yeah.
Before we sign off though, did you see the game between USA and Panama, the celebration?
No.
Oh, you need to check that out, bro. Like Panama score 94th minute win, let's say, in the Gold Cup semi-final. The brother run off of the field, run in at the commentator booth, and just go hug Thierry Henry and I tell him say my idol. It was seen. The whole team go over to celebrate with Thierry Henry for winning the game.
I'm watching it right now.
Finally, they do something.
So this is a semi-final?
No, that was a semi-final.
So they're in the final?
Against Mexico, because Mexico beat Canada.
I saw that coming.
Yeah.
100%. 100%. Without a doubt. Nobody can debate that. Yeah.
Because who
deadly, absolutely deadly.
Who in this era, that they want to talk about?
Nobody come close to him. None.
We haven't had a good striker this era.
He is.
But nobody has had a good striker this era.
But even the strikers before him, like your Lautaro Martinez, your Osherman, your all of them, still better than all of them.
No, but them at this era.
Yeah, and that's what I'm saying. No, I'm putting Haaland younger.
This is when you're talking about era, you have to talk about over a 10-year period.
Yeah. All right.
Across a 10-year period, Haaland is the best striker across a 10-year period. I mean, no people will say.
Are you saying from 2015 to now?
Yeah, including Lewandowski and including Benzema.
No, me not put
it
so far. Me not put it so far.
Yes.
Me not putting it so. If you're gonna put it from 2015 to now, I'll put him in the top 5, but I'm not putting him over Aguero, Lewandowski.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
So
even at one point before he came to Arsenal, Aubameyang. So if you're telling me from 2020 till now,
listen. Hold on.
If you're telling me from 2020 till now, yes.
Wait. We will discuss this further because we have some serious stats for sure. Why we're ranking there. Well, anyway, people, we are gonna sign off. This is normally supposed to be an hour show, and for the second episode, we're going over an hour, so we might just have to make it an hour and a half because it go. When we chat football, it time flies. And again, Friday Vibes, solid show. We do want to get a real discussion about the number 9 and especially Erling Haaland and why it's been so disrespected across spaces. But we'll have that for another time. And again, remember, like, share, comment on the videos when you're there, subscribe if you're new. And we catch you on the other one. Right? Peace.